I mean, as much
Yeah.
as I enjoy, working a good spreadsheet, I'd rather talk to people, communicate, and do training
Yeah.
and make the numbers come to life and
Yes.
make meaning of it for folks. We are our own department of two, and we train starting of February of this year. Our mission has been to train all 4,000 associates on the Shannon Way.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is based on our mission, vision, and values. And the backbone of it is the CAP surveys. Oh, I do. I mean, as an intelligence officer, especially going back to the schoolhouse, I did a huge component as training because the way the military works is they want the war fighters that spent years deployed and bring that knowledge back to the next group. So what's kept me in healthcare right now is like when I left the military initially, I went for a for-profit company, and I mean your why is to maximize the the stakeholder value. So
Yep.
I mean at the end of the day, that feels kind of empty. Shannon Health System, we're a non-for-profit hospital system, and one of the things that I mentioned in training is there's a big difference between a non-for-profit and a for-profit. In this case, we're in rural West Texas. We're one of the sole entities for healthcare, and the why is huge because if we succeed as a system, it's because of everybody's work. If we aren't successful, it's because of everybody's work.
Oh,
So that mission really is a strong foundation for the why I stay at Shannon Health. During COVID, when we first lifted the restrictions, I got into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. My
oh,
kids were training. I have a son started training when he was 6, and a daughter that started training when he was 4. That was 2 years ago.
wow.
And Professor Diego Almeida caught wind that I had trained when I was a kid, when I was 11 years old. And he's like, Lenny, why don't you train? I'm like, Diego, you do a 5 a.m. class. I'll put the gi on after a 30-year sabbatical. And, when quarantine ended, I never thought a Brazilian's going to have a class at 5 a.m. because they're not known for waking up early.
Uh,
But anyways, he did. He called me on it, and I've been training now for 2 years because that's when
wow.
the first level of quarantine ended. And I'm a 3-stripe blue belt. I went to Worlds for no-gi, and I compete pretty regularly now. I think it's really interesting now seeing the folks that are in the patient experience community coming from various different disciplines. Usually, when you're going to your undergraduate or graduate degree, I don't think many folks know that patient experience is an option. I think when it's discussed, it seems really intriguing. And when you get into a role that supports it directly, it's really, really intriguing and it's never a dull moment. I think the most important part of it, it's a people to people interaction component. And one of the things that I always anchor on is I grew up in restaurants, and restaurants you see the best of people, and you often see the worst of people. You see that a lot in healthcare. So I would say I had a lot of training from working in restaurants growing up.